everyone, welcome back. So I finally finished book 2, The Shadow's Edge. If you've seen my last video, I did book 1, so now I'm on book 2. I'm super excited. I will say this book is probably more of a 3.5 for me. The last book I rated more of a 4-star, but this is going to be more of a 3.5 star for me. It would have been higher except for the beginning. I hate the beginning of this book. It is so bad. It's like, okay. So let me go into this. You're gonna get probably a lot of my rants, but the beginning is pretty bad. So you start off with the end of book 1, obviously, but I mean sometimes books skip time. This one's actually going right after, which is nice. But at the end of book 1, you have Kyler becoming the Night Angel. It's really cool. It's really awesome. He's taken up that mantle. It's awesome. You're super excited. Well, now he's just throwing it all away at the beginning of this book. And it's literally at the beginning. So I'm not spoiling anything for you, other than the fact that you're going to be really disappointed if you haven't read this yet. But he now decides to hang up the Night Angel mantle because of some whiny girl. And said whiny girl is Elaine, who I cannot stand. If you've watched my previous video, you probably got to see a little bit of my anger towards her, and it is because of this book. I cannot stand that girl in any way, shape, or form. While Cenaria is literally being destroyed by the God King, Kyler is off trying to be a nobody who apparently has sworn off all violence because Elaine can't stand someone getting hurt. You can't punch anyone in the face because that's violence. Okay, sorry, I'm a little cynical and a little sarcastic here, but that's how angry I was. There was a couple times where I was reading this book and I just literally had to put it down because I'm just like, I am so angry. Like, I'm so mad. So he's literally just being this herbalist in some other city and not doing any violence. The only thing they don't think about their friends who are still in Cenaria. They don't think about them. The fact that everyone's dying and getting tortured and, you know, having to sell their services to brothels. Who cares about that other than the fact that Kyler can't get with Elaine because, you know, she's all pure and perfect. But that's the only thing you're going to read about for the next 30% of this book. That and how often they talk about her scars. Have to hear about her scars like probably like 300 times in the first like 200 pages of this book. Okay. I need to calm down. I'm already getting really worked up again about this. But yeah, let's not spare a thought towards anyone else. Let's just be selfish and think about ourselves. But yeah, so Kyler, Elaine, and that Uli, I don't know, something like that. Uli Sandra, I think is the full name. But they're off in this other city. They're trying to live like a normal family kind of life. They're trying to be essentially nobodies. You know, they're sworn off all violence. It's pretty boring. And you get to read about it. I will say, though, in this book, the point of views switch quite often, which is nice. So you get a lot of other storylines in this one, especially towards the middle of the book. You get a lot of people in there, which I think I go into that more in my review. But let's see where I talk about a lot of that. Okay, so yeah, you also get Logan's storyline, which if after the end of book 1, everyone believes him dead, but really he's been thrown into this mall prison, which, well, actually kind of threw himself into there. And in pretty much the whole book, he's in this mall, and it's really bad. I mean, you get a lot of, you know, dark chapters with that. You know, he's doing anything he can to survive. You do get a little bit of cannibalism there, which there's one thing in a book that disgusts me more than anything else, and that is that. It is like this huge, just like, feeling. I can't handle it very well, so I don't like those chapters. But I mean, it's interesting to read about Logan and how he's trying to keep his humanity, but also try to survive. And he's pretty much there for most of the book. So he's going through some things, whereas Kyler is just off lollygagging somewhere else, but we won't talk about that. But yeah, so you get Logan's storyline. You also get some more of Dorian, Solon, and Fier, I think is how you pronounce his name. But I like Dorian. He's really cool. You get him, like, essentially, he can kind of see the future at times, and he's always in these, like, trances, and it's really cool. I like him. And then you also get more of Vi, which I like Vi a lot. Way better than Elaine. And this one, she's still kind of shallow-ish. You're not really getting a whole lot of depth of her character, but it gets better. Towards kind of more the end of the book, you get more, you're seeing more into her head. She's having a lot of crisis to her identity. So because she is under a compulsion, and so she's trying to work that out, and it's really interesting to read her point of view. I like her a lot. She tries to do the right thing as much as she can, but she's also had a hard life. So I like her storyline. But so after probably listening to me complain about the beginning of this book, you might be wondering, why did I continue to read this book? Because I promise it does get better. It does. It's really good. And this is just such a fun, quick, fast, engaging read. But yes, after this horrible Kyler interlude, you do get where he finally is becoming the Night Angel again. So it's nice. He finally takes up that mantle again to save Scenario, because he knows he has to. He's probably the only one who can. And the best part is when he is the Night Angel. The Night Angel is essentially like, because he has that Kakari, it can like coat him with like this black, don't really know what it is, but it's like this black essence. And it essentially changes his entire look. He can almost become like kind of invisible. He can have certain parts of him become visible. So he's kind of like this, like, I think that people, when they see him, they describe as like this black demon kind of, and he has like, he can make his eyes glow and everything. It's really cool. It's a really cool imagery that they show on that. But essentially he is the face of judgment. And that's who the Night Angel is. The Night Angel is someone who is bringing justice and judgment to those who are the murderers, the slavers, like the torturers. So he doesn't kill indiscriminately. He kills those who demand judgment. And that's a really cool idea. I mean, there's times where he looks at someone and he's like, you've had 80 some kills. Like, all right, you're done. So it's like, he sees that, but also he can see when it's like, someone isn't a murderer. Like, they may have that many kills, but they didn't kill as a murderer. So he distinguishes between that. And it's cool to see his thought process. The best part is when you are in Kyler's head when he's the Night Angel, because you can see all that going through him. And I mean, he's really cool. And the fighting with it is fun. He's pretty much invincible. And while he's not exactly unkillable, he can also come back. So you get, he's just really cool. So I don't know what else to say other than that. I really like it. Kyler nails the Night Angel persona. It's just really what saves the series. But yeah, he's, good at the sword fighting. And every time he comes back after he's killed, he is a little bit stronger. And he has something else that he realizes the Kakari, I can't. The little magic ball they can do for him. I'm sorry about that. I'm a mess when it comes to these fantasy words. But he figures out something else it can do. And also, there's coming a time when it can kind of like talk with him too, which is cool. I like that because it'll be like, well, I can do this, and it'll like tell him. And he'll be like, well, can you really? And it's like, yeah, just I can do it. So it's kind of cool. It's fun getting that. But yeah, this book too, as I mentioned in my last video, I kind of alluded to where there is a lot of confusion on how the magic works and maybe some of the politics. This book helps clear a lot of that up. You're starting to get a better feel on what the politics and the magic system are in this world, which helps because I think that a lot of that is because you're in a lot of other characters' heads. So you're kind of seeing more of what's going on in the broader picture of everything. So that helps, but something that does confuse me is why the God King cares about Scenaria so much. Scenaria's kind of this rotten dump, and it's like, why are you here? Like, just go somewhere else. Like, I don't get that. I don't really know why he wants it, I guess, other than to just cause havoc, because that's what he does. I don't know. But But yeah, there was also a lot of good moments in there. So this book has a lot of variety of religions and gods in this book, and I like when it alludes to the real world one God. I like that. The author does a really good job of putting that in there, and I enjoy that tidbit. I love seeing real Christianity in fantasy books. I really like that. There was a really good scene where Kyler was struggling with how to fit into Aline's mold of no violence, and because Aline believes in the one God, but she believes in God in kind of this small little box. She doesn't see him for what he is. And Dorian tells him while he's in this vision/dream, which is cool in itself, that God is also mercy and justice, and Kyler can fit into that. He doesn't have to be in this box. And I really liked that scene. I thought it was really well written. I liked how that was worded. But yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I probably not as much as the first one, but there were scenes that I liked better than the first one. Because like I said, I really liked Kyler being the Night Angel. That helped save this for me. But this beginning was so rage-inducing. I was just so mad. Oh, and Aline also argues with him all the time about selling his sword, Retribution. And it's the most iconic sword ever, but she just wants him to sell it because she needs money and she doesn't want him to be violent anymore. Oh, it's just... I won't go into that. I was so mad, especially when he does sell it. And that's not a spoiler because that happens pretty quick and nothing comes of it that's like spoilery or anything, but it'll be enough just to get your blood going. So, but yeah, that just takes me off so much. It's like, oh, you don't love me because you won't sell your sword. Whatever. But it just makes me so mad. But anyways, like I said, I do recommend this series. I really do. I know the third book's really good. I'm really excited to get into it. I just got Night Angel Nemesis, so I'm trying to go through these real quick so I can give you a review on Nemesis, which I'm so excited about. I love it. But yeah, this is such a fun, engaging series, and I definitely recommend it. But yeah, so if you check them out, let me know, and have a good rest of the weekend.